Let's talk about this story we got right here from the Post Millennial. CNN plans to create a team dedicated to covering misinformation.
Oh, good.
Do you feel like you have to jump down every rabbit hole you see? Do you get mad when you see liars taking advantage of people? I do, like Jake Tapper and Brian Stelter and I don't even. What was this guy's
Jim
name?
Acosta.
Jim Acosta.
Lubin Tubin.
No, that's not Lubin Tubin. He's so irrelevant. I forgot the guy's name. But these people lie nonstop. Then they go on their TV channel that's dropped in ratings by 90%, and they're reliable sources. I love the irony of the name, right? Imagine a fire department called like Flaming Fire Truck. You'd be like, that I don't know if I'd want them to come. Like,
but the fire's free, Tim.
A fire truck on fire is the best way to explain what reliable sources on CNN means. It is one of the least reliable sources, and now they're going to be telling us that they're making this, anti-disinformation show. Alex Koppelman says, some very exciting media jobs, tell you. I'm hiring 3 people for a new CNN team dedicated to covering misinformation. Thread about the team and job starts here. Please feel free to share far and wide. And if you're interested, reach out or apply at the links. Part of me is frustrated that we talk about CNN. Because when I learned that their ratings were down by over 90% and they were getting between like 70 and 100,000 in the key demo, I was like, wow. We should just not talk about them anymore because they're irrelevant. But they still do have institutional authority. YouTube props them up, puts them on the front page, and then you get 100 million plus YouTube views. So we need to make sure we're calling out all of the lies and manipulations from CNN.
This is like Ian doing anti-drug commercials. This makes no sense at all. This is like the ultimate epitome of hypocrisy that we have to deal with. CNN being fact checkers? Are you kidding me? Like, I mean, what kind of parallel universe are we living in where they think they could pull this off? I mean, they have no credibility. They have been lying to the American people non-stop. 24/7 fear mongering, and they're losing the audience because the audience understands, like, hey, I don't want to be spoken down to. I don't want to have my thoughts controlled. I don't want to have my perspectives limited to what you want me to think. They're the perfect representatives. They're PR for the special ruling elite, and they're nothing else but that.
I get angrier and angrier, seeing what these people do, and maybe there's a lot of people who watch them and don't understand why I would be so so pissed off at the things CNN does or MSNBC. And, just watching Rachel Maddow on the verge of tears when the Russiagate scandal was proven, the Russiagate thing was proven false, she was almost crying. I think I totally understand why so many people were laughing and so happy to see that pain, schadenfreude, to see these evil people lie for now I've been doing it forever, but it's gotten so bad. And for the nerve of these people to just keep pushing the lies, like Chris Cuomo, faked being in quarantine. We all know it, and they still keep lying. What pisses me off is that people keep falling for it.
Well, I didn't fall for this. When you look at this picture of these dudes, I see airbrushed photography, really bright light coming from the left, shadow on the right to make them give this angelic glow. It just oozes with crap.
Well, that's Jake Tapper on the left, right?
Yeah.
I feel really sad about Jake Tapper because I remember during the Obama years, he confronted, I want to say Jay Carney. What?
He was the least bad.
Yeah, he confronted Jay Carney. I think it was about the kill list, about Obama's kill list. And he was really forceful about it. I think it's probably still on YouTube. And then fast forward to the Trump years, and he's having a tantrum meltdown because Donald Trump didn't thank John McCain in the NDAA spending bill. Are you going to talk about indefinite detention built into that bill? You're going to talk about the billions of dollars spent on Empire? No, he's going to thank John McCain for his service because Donald Trump didn't. And it's just so sad to watch.
I wonder about that too. Like, we get wrapped up in so much of this culture war stuff, even talking about CNN. I wonder if that's what keeps us safe on YouTube. Because if we started talking about the NDAA, indefinite detention provision, and Obama and Biden killing kids and the corruption, and we start getting deep on foreign policy, I bet then they would nuke us.
Yeah,
instantly.
that would be an example of not playing ball. Right now, we're actually playing tennis with CNN, talking about how bad they are. We're keeping them prescient. But
and relevant by talking about them.
Yeah.
But I do wonder, who do they think this is for? Benefit of the doubt, they just have poor strategy, and they think that they're going to actually reach people mired in disinformation. Benefit of the doubt, they think they're being really honorable journalists and they're trying to stop the spread of misinformation. But in reality, who's going to watch this? It's people who already agree with them. So that kind of just serves, intentional or not, to deepen the divide and deepen the polarization, where the people watching the show can be like, ha, look at those idiots. Look how stupid they are that they would believe that. I'm better than them. They're other than me. And all that really does is perpetuate the division that's already so severe.
Can you tell me the difference between misinformation and disinformation?
One is accidental, one's intentional.
Yeah.
What's intentional offhand if you don't know?
Misinformation is when people are just wrong, and
okay.
disinformation.
Right.
That
I may
makes
have used
sense.
that incorrectly or interchangeably, but yeah.
I'm looking at this digital forensic research lab from the Atlantic Council, and they're out to study disinformation and expose falsehood.
Ooh,
And they're-
intentional propaganda. That's what we
yeah.
were doing.
Spicy.
intentional propaganda, disinformation. That's the CIA's main
Right.
modus operandi is disinformation.
Right. And what's so funny is with the anti-media, for example, it was our strategy to, as often as possible, cite mainstream news. Just to say, what are you going to say? We're quoting you. And if you dig into a lot of those mainstream articles, the information is there. They just don't lead with it. They don't emphasize it. It's, it's a byline or a scrolling marquee on a TV channel, but most of that information is out there. Like the New York Times was reporting on Obama's kill list during the Obama years. It's not that they're not covering it. It's just it's not propped up and blasted, and it's not forced into the biggest narrative that they're pushing.
Let me ask you guys a question. Don't look at the screen. All right, we'll start with you, Carrie. CNN, 11 p.m. slot. How many viewers in the key demo do you think Don Lemon got?
What's the key demo?
25 to 54.
Oh.
They call it the
that's
money
got-
demo.
I mean,
Major cable network CNN, they're in hotels. How many key demo viewers do you think they would get?
generously 75,000. I don't know what's
You're
the
cheating because that's
really?
It's 74,000.
Oh, is it really? No way.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
I didn't look. I swear.
That's one day.
MSNBC 11th hour. How many think they got in the key demo?
50,000. 80,000.
85,000. 80. And then Gutfeld on Fox News.
200.
343,000.
It's close-ish.
So if you look at their ratings in general with the older crowd, it's a bit higher. I think it's 347,000. When you go to like 9 p.m., it's 169,000 in the key demo. So it's a little bit better than that. 10 p.m. 134. But Hannity's getting 500,000. Carlson's getting 559,000. The interesting thing is, this is what's crazy to me, is our numbers are not too far off from that. Now that's in 1 hour. For us in about an hour, we're getting like 150 to 200,000 key demo viewers. This show is rivaling the likes of CNN.
How
I just want to say, be optimistic.
Yeah.
We are winning.
How many interactions does CNN get? Zero. Because
Right.
they're not built for it. It's an old media form.
Right.
And how many people are passively watching it? And how many people are taking it seriously? And how many people are watching it just for the lows and just for the ridiculousness?
How many people are trapped in an airport? I'm sorry.
hotel?
No, hotel lobbies, because the airport thing ended. They canceled that contract.
Do smart TVs measure if like 3 people are watching them now? Have they figured out how to do that?
I don't know, but I have to imagine. I've been in a lot of airports, and whenever I would go in, they would have CNN on. And I don't mean like they used to do this deal where the airport TVs would play it. I mean, like, I would go to a lounge for like the United Lounge or the American Lounge, and they would have 3 TVs, and they'd be playing like CNN and maybe sports, and I'd be like, "Can you turn that off?" And they'd be like, "Yeah," and they would pull up the remote and they would turn it off. I'm like, "I don't care what you put on, just change channel," because that stuff is mind melting garbage. And you know what? I did favors. by
Is your
turning it
key
off.
demo number from one night? Is that what that is? In one night, they would get 70 grand?
we actually, Timcast IRL gets, we do the 2-hour show, and it's close to like 500,000 in the key demo within 2 hours. So if we were, I don't know, after 1 hour, it's actually like 2/3 of the views of the first hour, and then it goes down. So we're probably getting like 250 to 300,000 key demo viewers in 1 hour. And if you look at that, we're half of Carlson. We're around half of Hannity or Laura Ingraham or Gutfeld, which makes sense. But we're like at or twice as much as what CNN and MSNBC get. Granted, Rachel Maddow beats us. She got 311,000 key demo viewers.
Was it you that I was shooting this TV Be Gone video with a couple
Yes.
years ago? We were literally walking
That was
around.
a decade ago, bro.
Well, yeah, potato. But there's this TV Be Gone device that literally was able to turn off every single television. Me and Tim went on doing important work by literally walking around and shutting off all the corporate media that was in Times Square, in restaurants, of course, major bars and entertainment areas. It got tense a couple times when I had that with me on other occasions when we weren't filming. But we literally made a video of like, we got to save people, and we're going to use this device by turning off TVs everywhere. We accidentally turned off a menu for a pizza restaurant. I remember that.
Yep.
Because when you press it, it just automatically gives all the TV codes signals all at once and turns it all off. But seriously, turn off the programming, turn off the conditioning. Watching CNN, it's nauseating. It raises your blood pressure. It's nothing but constant low vibrational fear, nonsense, crap. And it really doesn't serve you in any way, shape, or form. It doesn't keep you informed. It does the opposite of that. It makes you misinformed about what's really happening in this world.
I can't remember who we were talking about with this, but you go to YouTube and you search for a news story. Like, if you're not going to get a YouTuber, you're going to get CNN, CBS. The crazy thing is, if you search for something on YouTube that might not be related to news, you'll get news. You search for anything political, and instead of getting information from like an educational source, you'll get CNN. You'll get CBS or PBS. It's just weird.
And it's fascinating, too, because their numbers aren't that great, even getting prioritized by these big tech platforms. I remember Facebook had a whole program, it must have been 2015, 16, to prop up reliable news sources. And it was like Fox News, CNN, MSNBC. And even then, they still weren't getting the engagement and the reach and the shares that people like the anti-media was getting, not just us, but a lot of independent news organizations. And that was being not only having huge followings, but also being propped up by these institutions.
Anderson Cooper, Mr. Vanderbilt, had a special deal with Facebook that literally was making sure that they had Facebook exclusive content available to everyone, shoving it down their throats, shoving it down their algorithms. And they were playing it in my newsfeed, everyone's newsfeed, and they stopped that partnership because no one was watching it. No one wants to watch deep state television. No one wants to watch something that disrespects their intellect in the basic understanding of human life. And I remember there used to be a time a few years ago where I would just have CNN on because they weren't as sensationalistic. They weren't as bombastic. They weren't as crazy. But still, back then, even a few years ago, I would have it on because they would have good breaking news coverage, and I was monitoring the news, and it was somewhat okay. Still kind of low vibrational, but not as bad. Now I literally feel sick watching them. I literally feel nauseous, and I'm like, I can't. This is absolutely a weaponized infotainment that's meant to hurt people in so many extensive ways.
Let's terrain theory of disease, Luke. Your body is mirroring the neurons of the people you're watching. So when you watch one like Brian Stelter and he's all stressed out and hates his life, that your body is gonna start mimicking that behavior of stress. Maybe not necessarily, but that's the theory of like terrain theory of disease is involved with that, and mirror neurons and things like that. I think
absolutely
part of if you hear someone sniffling on the phone when you're talking to them, it might actually make you sniffle, because you start.
Or yawning.
Yawning is another example of it. Thanks
for checking out this segment from the Timcast IRL podcast. If you want to watch live, you can check out this channel Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. And don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to this channel, and if you want more unfiltered and uncensored content with all of these guests, go to timcast.com and become a member. All of these guests you know and love in exclusive segments on our website where we are unrestricted in what we talk about, so you'll definitely not want to miss it. Thanks for hanging out. We'll see you all next time.